So on behalf of the University of Calgary, it's my pleasure to be here with you as we celebrate our outstanding community of alumni and friends. Houston represents an important branch of this family with about 400 alumni in the region. Our university and alumni community are already driving so much positive change, and I can't think of a better representative to demonstrate that than our speaker tonight.
What if we started with materials, when we're thinking about innovation, especially in energy, what if we started with materials instead of starting with the process? Does everybody know what silly putty is, maybe? Really? You're not just telling me this to not be embarrassed. Okay. Well, if you remember, you could roll it into a round ball and it had a really high bulk mileage. It would bounce really well. And, okay, so this is going to be difficult for some of you. There used to be something called newspapers. And so with silly putty, you could put silly putty onto newsprint and take it off, and you get like a mirror image of whatever was on the newspaper. I don't know of any practical use for this, but it was always kind of cool. Look at that. It's just like... So the point is, here's this material. What good is it? What can you use it for? It just depends on the imagination of whoever's hand you put it into. So if you start with materials instead of a process, it changes the way innovation happens. So let me give you some examples that then have more to do with energy and a lot to do with what we're doing up in Calgary. Let's talk about nanoparticles. So one thing you can do with it is, this idea is 100 years old. You can stabilize bubbles of gas in a liquid, think shaving cream, or droplets of one liquid, think oil in your oil and vinegar or salad dressing, in another liquid with small pieces of solid material. Okay, the cool thing about nanoparticles is that they are small pieces of solid material, but they're also small enough to actually go into a reservoir. And so the fact that you can stabilize a foam or emulsion is this fun scientific thing, but if you're in the business of, I don't know, injecting a lot of CO2 in the Permian Basin to recover oil, it'd be nice if you could make that CO2 act more viscous, and the simplest way I know of to make it act more viscous is to turn it into a foam. So the point here is a material that can do stuff, and then you can come up with uses for it in the same way that a kid comes up with uses for a lump of silly putty.